So we've got Lex Divine, not Ryan. I shouldn't call you Ryan, or should I call you Lex now?
I mean, this is sort of a kayfabe breaking podcast, right? So
yeah. I mean, we're sitting next to each other on a couch, and in kayfabe, the most interaction we've ever had is him reading bullying tweets to me in front of a crowd.
Okay.
So we're not together and are not like living together in kayfabe. So.
Right in the wrestling world. That's okay. So I'm supposed to be Italian, so and I'll have spaghetti tonight, but that's about the only thing about me that's actually Italian. Don't tell Monty from Monte and the Pharaoh. He gets so upset at that. For some reason, Monty from Monte and the Pharaoh thinks that like my pretending that I was Italian is like the most offensive thing that's ever happened in the history of wrestling. And us too.
So we have questions from fans, and I'm here to answer them. And I may blather on and on and on, but I will get to a point eventually with your help.
Like in my introductions, I will get to a point eventually. And here is the first point. I'm going to get to a question. Or actually, it's more of a statement / question. And it says, please ask Dutch. Dutch, do you know who up in New York is talking about you?
Yes. There's two answers to that, really.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, you say who, and they said nobody.
Fuck.
Are we good on sound? Yep. Are you okay to go?
Yeah. Growing up adopted, knowing I'm adopted, the one and only thing that I've always tried to do, make my mom and dad proud of me.
We had a friend, his son played hockey. He says maybe that would be a good sport for him to get, Mike to get into. Played them all, except goalie.
He said he was too big. Yeah, he covered the whole net.
He had 33-inch thighs. This was as an 8th grader. He had 19-inch calves. He had a size 16 and a half neck. It was just like a solid piece of granite.
I've known Mike, to be honest, really too fucking long. He'd hit you with them arms and it's like taking it to the body, shiver.
He got into the normal scrapes like all kids do.
He was a bully. And anytime he didn't get his way, he would try to, or he wouldn't try,
he'd bully you.
25, 26 years old, man, I was, on top of the world. I was like, oh my God, I'm wrestling, for the WWF. They decided they wanted to give me a character, half man, half beast, and they wanted to put this big giant bullhead on me. Vince probably spent $100,000 on this fucking bullhead that I only wore like 5-6 times. I grabbed Vince by the arms and I'm talking to him through the mouth of this bullhead, and I said, Vince, I got this. I said, don't worry about it. I had a good friend of mine die in the ring in my arms in Bremen, Germany in 1993, Larry Cameron. He had a heart attack in the middle of the ring, and I watched this guy of black color turn to an ash gray. I bought a ring and fixed it up and opened up my company, had a few shows, and then that's when I found out that C6 was touching my spinal cord and my career was over. For those of you who don't know what CTE syndrome is, it's chronic traumatic encephalopathy, which stands for one too many concussions.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte and The Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music TV, straight out of Ronkonkoma, Long Island. At the board, Abe, the man, the myth, the legend, in the house, looking fresh. He's got his man bun on, looking good,
what's
buddy.
What's going on, brother?
You growing a stash?
A little bit. I'm trying to make it work.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Pencil mustache?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's never good enough.
And there's my co-host. There she is, Miss Daniella Petrow, the birthday girl. How are you?
Oh, thank you. How are you doing, darling?
Let me ask you, coming out of your first show, how did it feel? Was it totally natural? You felt comfortable? What did you think?
I mean, I've always felt comfortable talking with you, so I just made it seem like it was a FaceTime.
That's it, right? Absolutely.
It was very organic.
Yeah, it was organic. We have a bit of an organic relationship, milady. I think that's it. We do.
By the way,
look at that. Flowers. Birthday flowers from the Monte and The Pharaoh show, and well deserved after your performance. After your performance last week, we should have sent you 8,000 bouquets. So I'm excited for this week's show because Jamie Dundee, he's a friend. Do you have your drink? What's that?
Do you have your drink?
I do.
Okay.
Cheers.
Make sure I'm not
to
drinking alone.
Cheers to you. You will never drink alone again, my friend. Cheers. Jamie Dundee will be here shortly where we'll have an interview with him. And I almost feel like this is, I don't know, it's almost like a superhero movie, right? It's Daniella Petrow and Jamie Dundee. This could be like, God knows what's going to happen tonight, man. I'm excited. I might just keep my mouth shut and just let you guys talk.
Well, you know I'm the villain, right?
You are the villain. Do you like the role of the villain?
I think we all low key kind of we kind of root for the villain. I mean, we got Maleficent. She was evil, but technically good. I'm gonna roll with it. I'll be the bad guy.
If you were
what
a
do they call
wrestler,
that in wrestling? I'll be the heel.
That's what I was gonna say. You're comfortable playing the heel, and you know what? And you're not soft too, right? You're tough, right? So you can handle all that backlash that comes out of heel for their evil doings, right?
Oh, bring it on. A queen doesn't listen to the sounds of peasants.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So before we get into the main subject, which everybody knows we got to get into considering what happened last week, I want to start off on a better note. What was it like? How was your birthday? What did you do? Tell everybody out there what it was like yesterday in the life of Daniella Petrow on her 36th birthday, young lady.
No, we're going to tell people we're 26, so mom's the word. 26. We're not 36, 26. Actually, this year, shockingly, I've always avoided my birthday. As a mom, you kind of just grown accustomed to it's another day. But surprisingly, I mean, thank you from the bottom of my heart. The flowers were a big deal. I was wondering why you were asking me if I was home yet.
Well, you know what it is when you order the flowers, right? You're always concerned that they get to where they're going because nothing's worse than stuff not getting there and then having to deal with, oh, well, we'll replace it. It's after the fact. Her birthday is today. I don't want her to get it tomorrow. You understand what I'm saying?
No, and I'm actually happy my kids didn't open this box because even if it's like Amazon, it's I'm like, where's my shit? And like, oh, I opened the box and I'm like, they left this one alone. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. And I'm like, who is this from?
Nice.
But nice. No, it was my clients were amazing. My clients gifted me. I even had an ex pop up and send me a nice little gift. And I was just like, oh God, exes are exes for reasons. So, but no, it was definitely, it was probably one of the best birthdays I've had in quite a very long time. And I haven't even done anything. Just the love that I received was the biggest gift that I could get.
Oh, so. Good for you, and it's well deserved. All right, so last week, after last week's show, I'm not going to say the shocking happened, but the WWE had came to terms with your ex, Matt Riddle. I thought I'd give you the time to share with everybody your thoughts. And I want to give you the floor, so have at it, my friend.
I shared I bursted. I was wondering why my phone was blowing up. And I'm in the middle of working, I'm cooking, I'm doing a bunch of stuff. And finally I'm just like, this one person I had to answer, and I was like, she doesn't call me like that. Answered it, and she's like, they released him. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Well, it's about damn time, for one. It's about time. But two, I am an oversharer, as you know. I have no filter, and it's like vomit of the mouth, and just whatever I'm thinking just comes out. So I decided to share my enthusiasm towards his release. And good God almighty, this is why I'm not wearing this crown for my birthday. I am wearing this crown because I have been initiated into the villain club. I guess I am responsible for his demise, which I thought, failing drug tests and accusing people of sexual assault that are police officers in airports. I didn't know I had that much control. So I am now the evil queen, and I am the reason why Matt Riddle got fired on X. That's what everyone says. So, wearing this crown, like I was born with it.
That's it. Now, quick question. We were covering on the earlier show, people have their Twitter sites or whatever, and AEW is another wrestling organization, and they had a site that was called AEW Botch. And the actual, I guess, I don't know what you call him, a tweeter or whatever the hell he is, or whatever website he had, he got death threats to his family and his friends or whatever. Has anyone ever gotten that? Have any crazy Matt Riddle fans ever gotten that crazy with you?
Oh my God, I have a whole... I hate that it's called X because I'm so used to calling it Twitter. There's a whole X account with my mugshot photo that is dedicated to me. Literally everything. Custody battles, you name it, they posted it. But no, even with the breakup, fans really didn't like me dating him when it came out that him and Lisa got divorced. I was enemy number one because no one wants to see a family broken up. So I've already been on the shit list. So coming into it, I was damned. So then when the breakup happens and then I start exposing what I went through in my relationship with him to validate the accusations that were made against him before me, it was definitely some of the stuff was I'm going to show you what it's like to be raped, or I'm going to hurt your kids, or I have your address. And one of them sent me an address. Thank God it wasn't a current address, but one that was 2 years old. And I'm gonna hurt you. And when it comes to my children, that's the one thing I'm like, you're crossing the line. Say what you want. Call me a cow, call me a voodoo queen. They've called me everything. But my children have nothing to do with this. So it's that's where it got kind of scary with the threats of harm to my children. And I'll make your children watch what I'm gonna do to you. And that's how foul some of these addictive fans have gotten. And it's on an everyday occasion. I mean, even now it's calmed down. The more I speak, the more threats I get. Less I speak, the less threats I get. So it's, on a good day, I can get 50, 60. On a slow day, I can get maybe 2 or 3.
Do you, after this all happened, right, it settles in, Riddle's life is now changed forever, right? He's not a spring chicken. He's 38, I believe, right? I'm just talking
Yeah, but it's
wrestling
not dead.
terms. Yeah.
Not dead.
Was there any remorse on your end? Like, maybe I shouldn't have gone this far. I feel bad for him. Well, tell me why.
No, none whatsoever. Why? I have no remorse because, yes, I have said and told my side of what I've gone through in my experiences. But I didn't force him to party and do drugs and go in and out of rehab. I didn't force him to cheat on his wife before me and have an affair with a mistress. I didn't force him to do these things to women. I didn't force him to make allegations against law enforcement. I didn't force him to do any of this stuff. So no, I have no remorse. I have no regrets. As I teach my children, accountability. With every action, there is a reaction. You are so concerned about providing for your children and everything else. There is a straight and narrow path. All you have to do is follow it. It's right there. But he chose to make his own path and not follow the one that was going to keep his career, that was going to make him excel, that was going to keep his bank account rolling. So I have no remorse. You did this to your damn self.
Did any of the, I don't want you to name names because I don't want to put in a spot, but after you separated with him, did anyone reach out to you from the WWE who might have met with you in your relationship with him to say, hey, I'm glad you got away from him?
I had, I kept a friendly communications with one male, one because we had a lot of heart-to-hearts, and even he was going through some stuff with his own personal relationships. But no, with Matt, a lot of them just kind of one of them, his intentions were completely not to be friendly, but friendly. So, yeah, no, a lot of them kind of just faded off. Still cool with one, pop in, check in once in a while. And I even told him, I was like, I have no ill will towards you. Like, and even close personal ones that I was hanging out with on a day-to-day basis when I was with him. It kind of sucks because it's like a lot of rumors that like, oh, I said this or I whatever. I had no issues with any of them, nor I personally like them, but I can see where like loyalty lies. And, you know, it kind of, I'm a very outspoken person, so it's like, you know, you don't want to go towards the fire, you want to go away from the fire. So I can understand why a lot of them parted ways with even just communications with me. But yeah.
Are you now ready to move on? Do you feel like the mission is now I don't want to call it a mission because it kind of puts you in a bad light.
I've been moving on. I've been. The only reason I ever say anything is when something like Google pops up news or I get a million people just like sending me stuff like, look what happened, look what your ex did now. And then I'm like, oh, I always gotta say something. I always gotta put my 2 cents in.
Well, I think
I can't bite my tongue.
I think you're almost through the woods, and again, for our show, I think we move on, and we're going to do well. I think you're an incredible co-host, and we got so much to talk about and so many interviews to do. So I personally, when this went down, was happy for you through our relationship. Not that I knew Matt Riddle or really cared about Matt Riddle in any way whatsoever, but through our relationship, from what you told me and what we've talked about many times, I was happy for all the women that had issues without it being
we all called each other. This was like our little, like, granted, some of us, it's hard to prove what we went through. Even in the court of law, it's really hard to prove sexual abuse in a relationship. But it was like our own justice. Like, we got just we'll take that little win where we can, you know?
Right. The weird thing to me is this guy had the world in the palm of his hands, right? And he just had to act a certain a certain way.
No, and
it
I
would've
will
been fine.
never knock. I will never knock. He was an amazing character to watch. Like, amazing. He was very talented. Very, very talented. And that's the sad part is you wasted that on what? Like, you threw it all away. And he's always been a wrestler. I mean, I think he was state in college. Like, he's always had that. So it's like to see someone who has so much potential, so much charisma, a relatable character that just like is literally his own demise. He's his own worst enemy. There could be 1,000 of me. It doesn't matter. It's what you do with it, you know? And it's just like, it is a shame because he was, especially when I saw him live the first time, honestly, I can see, I'm not even a wrestling fan, I can see why people love his character. He's a lovable guy. And it sucks. And God, in the ring, the things that we do, like crazy, like, it sucks. That it's a waste of talent.
I agree wholeheartedly. Incredible talent, incredible athlete, but you just can't treat people that way. Well, let's move on. I'd like to thank the band that sings the theme song of Monte and The Pharaoh, own Jimmy Pharaoh, who's in Florida. He made an appearance, Daniella, on the first show. He had some internet issues, but it was good to see him. He's starting a whole new life in the land of Florida. Our own Jimmy
I might
Pharaoh.
have to come visit him. We're in the same state now. We're kind of neighbors, but
Are
hours away.
you gonna go see him?
I'll make a trip. I love road trips.
All right. Well, we gotta work that out. That'd be kind of fun. I'd love to see you guys together. That'd be friggin' awesome.
Me
Jimmy
and him
Pharaoh,
sitting next to each other.
Jimmy Pharaoh, along with his partner Park Riggs, make up the band Wisteria Hall. Wisteria Hall sings such great songs in My Dreams, This Life, Not Far Behind, Here Comes the Rain. You can find their music on the Wisteria Hall YouTube page. Hear them on Spotify, Apple Music, and Reverb Nation. If you didn't know it, you are watching Monte and the Petrow show. I might have to change that to the Monte and the Petrow YouTube channel, the Monte and the Pharaoh Facebook Live page. Hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Twitch TV, and if you're lucky enough to live in New York, where over 150,000 fans saw you last week, Daniella. Do you know that?
Ooh.
On channel 115 and channel 20. It's growing like crazy. And if anyone didn't know it, we're also on a network called Intuitive. Intuitive is like a kind of a new Netflix. It's free. It's got documentaries. It's got music videos. It's got friggin' sports. And most importantly, it's got the anchor show, Monte and the Pharaoh, Intuitive, IN2ITIVE network. Again, it's free. Download it.
If it's free, it's for me.
That's it, man. That's the key word. Jamie Dundee coming for an interview. He should be in here shortly. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then it's Petrow and Dundee the rest of the way. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. It'll be crazy. Manscaped. Have you tried the new equipment that's been sent?
I'm afraid because it says weed whacker. I'm scared.
Maven, Manscaped. What are you thinking about
Love
Manscaped,
it.
dude?
Love it.
What do you use it for?
Necessity. What don't I use it for? Put it this way. The only hair I have on my entire body is these eyebrows.
Yeah.
That you see. These caterpillars racing to the middle of my nose. That's it.
That is it.
That's all I have. And that's all I want.
That's the
So Manscaped is a must.
We were talking before the show. There's nothing worse than just hair.
Yeah.
Right? Hair on a woman, hair on a man. It's just bad.
Absolutely. And it's the one thing that the older I get, it starts growing more in unwanted areas.
Absolutely.
I hate it.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
Just going to go out there.
Oh, boy. Go for it.
You're doing a deed.
Yes.
Again, I don't want you to have to admit this because as men, we try not to admit this, but if you're going to go do a deed on a woman, would you rather have her be hairless or a little hair, racing stripe, or
racing stripe,
full retro bush?
Racing stripe. Retro bush is out.
Yes, thank you.
Retro bush is out.
Yeah.
I don't mind a small, well manicured landing strip. every now and then, if it's completely, and I'm talking like baby's ass bald, then I start. Where is that pedophilia line? I don't want to wander into that.
That's very interesting.
like that.
I never thought about that. You're a smart dude. Holy shit.
So if the landing strip is clean enough for the plane to go in smoothly, you're cool with that?
If the landing strip has, like I said, well manicured, you can see both sides. It's not
like blinking lights on both sides of that.
I don't want, I don't want the shrubbery going off into unwanted areas on that as well.
Gotcha. Oh, look what you found. Ooh.
I got to be honest though. Hey, the older I get though, I don't think I can be as
I found it. Have you ever gone down there and she slowly brings down the underwear? Then
what is
retro?
Absolutely.
You're like, whoa!
Wow!
Yeah, I'm 46.
Like it pops out?
Do you like walk out or what do you do?
No, I muster through. I muster up the courage to get
He's
through.
a trooper.
Yeah,
he's a trooper. Got to give him an A.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah,
I hear you.
Listen, I couldn't say it. Well, if you have the same beliefs as Maven, does Manscaped could help you?
Absolutely.
The weed whacker.
Absolutely.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I may have to, go in a room, close the door, and hang out with the weed whacker for a little while.
Yeah, I think you're a retro guy, aren't you?
I like 70s adult films, if that's what you're getting at.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
but with that,
Ron
we're going to take a
Jeremy,
quick
Batman.
commercial break, and we'll be back with this wrestling icon, Maven.
We will see you in a drop kick. The Monte and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine. Yeah. You need a body shop? You need engine repair? Auto Excellence. Collision Specialists. 631-261-6420. That's 631-261-6420. Auto Excellence.
M&J Video Games and Collectibles. Sport and non-sport cards, wrestling items, autographed items. We buy, sell, and trade. M&J Video Games and Collectibles, located at 1049 Queen Street, Southington, Connecticut. Call us at 1-860-479-9223 or 860-93-GAMES. M&J Video Games and Collectibles.
All right, welcome back to the world's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monte and The Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music TV. So Danielle was still waiting on Jamie. They just texted me. They should be in here shortly. So in the meantime, we'll do a little bullshitting and discuss a few things.
By the way, I need to get some of that good fucking wine because you know I'm a wine drinker, right?
Yeah. I'll send you a case. But you know what? I want you to try it first. It's really good. It's really good.
No, and I'm a wine connoisseur. I love wine.
So, since your appearance last week, which gave I got tons of feedback. The one thing we noticed is a wrestling show, and I remember when we first discussed you coming on as the co-host. One thing that was discussed is you weren't a huge pro wrestling fan. So what was it like?
What?
I
don't know anything about wrestling.
But so when you got into that world through whatever your relationship or whatever else, what did you think of it?
Oh, it's okay. First off, it is definitely better live than on television. I will give it that. Because I used to watch when Matt would talk about things, and I was just like, oh shit. He actually gave me his Peacock password and stuff because I didn't want to purchase Peacock. So I would watch it when he was on. He gave me it to watch it, and I was like, I feel like I'm watching a Spanish soap opera, like a Telemundo. It's so enthusiastic and very over the top, and I was just like, so I put it in the background as noise. But when I went to my first show, then I was like, oh shit, this is fun. Because then you see them doing these things. And then you're like, you really get a concept of how, technical, and dangerous even some of the like nonchalant moves are, and you're like, I like it better live than I do on television. Television, I'm like, I'd rather watch The Real Housewives. Like, if I'm gonna watch something, I'm gonna watch that. Like, it just, I love it live. It definitely gives you a real grasp of it, and I don't know, it just kind of like, it amps you up. But I also think, like, even like watching, like, I'm a hockey fan, so it's like, I'll watch the Lightning on television, but the game, completely better live. Like, so it's definitely, I will say the wrestling, I prefer it live. And you feed off the energy of the fans. Because as someone who didn't know anything, like, you heard, like, I've met John Cena before working in Tampa, before I ever met Matt. So, like, I know names. Like, I know who Dwayne Rock Johnson is. I knew who The Undertaker was. Triple X. I remember in school, it was this. Like, you know, like, so I had references to it. I had best friends who had brothers that, like, loved wrestling and stuff like that. But I never personally knew anything about wrestling. So, like, even learning what a heel was. Like, I watched that Netflix, like documentary, and that kind of, like, really gave me a brush. I was happy, and then all of a sudden you asked me to do this. I was like, okay, I kind of know what's going on. Like, I know what I'm going to be talking about. So it's like it's really interesting. Like, it's definitely like, it's a different world, and I'm getting accustomed to it. I am a guest, hopefully maybe residency, you know. But right now I'm checking out the scenery, and I'm adapting to it. I think I had a little bit of a firsthand experience.
Yeah,
so.
no, absolutely, and you know. Nothing better than wrestling fan. Is Jimmy on, Abe?
He was, but he's frozen now.
Oh, no.
Unbelievable.
This is what I got right now.
Because you got the Ice Queen on.
That's it. Not that you would. Oh, there he is. Jimmy! Can you hear us?
Hey!
Can you hear Jimmy?
Can you hear us?
I don't think he can hear.
Can't hear us.
Uh-oh.
Take us off Bluetooth.
Hi.
Man, I'll tell you. So, when you're around these, not that you don't seem like a person that would ever get intimidated, but the size of these guys, were they bigger than the normal guys that you run into in Florida, or was it intimidating in any way?
Actually, one of my clients lives next to a wrestler. I'm not going to name who he is, but it's kind of funny that, like, I thought Matt was a big guy, and then going WrestleMania is when I physically got to meet a lot of them, like mingling and all this other stuff. They're big guys. Even Randy. Like, I didn't realize how petite Kim Orton was, because I'm 5'5". So, like, we were both wearing pretty big stiletto heels. She still was like half the size of me. She is this tiny little thing, and then I'm like, we're walking out, and I'm like looking at Randy like he's a giant. Like, this man is like a god. And Matt's about 6'1", 6'2", maybe, and he towered over me, like. But some of these guys are ginormous. Fun fact, Otis was such a doll baby. Matt zippered up my dress during while we were getting ready for the Hall of Fame, and as I'm walking out, Stephanie McMahon and Triple H are behind me and Matt, and all of a sudden I get this is the first introduction I get with Stephanie McMahon. Is your dress supposed to be like this? My whole gown that I had custom made ripped in the back because Matt ripped it off the track.
Ugh.
And I had to go to the bathroom as soon as we got off air, because it was a long ceremony. And the only person that can get me out of the dress, Otis comes in, and like everyone, you got all these people backstage, everyone's trying to get me out of this dress because I'm like, I have to pee, like I have to pee so bad, and I can't lift this whole thing up. Otis helped get that thing off. Thank God. So that was actually my first introduction with them. And it was just definitely like, some of these guys are huge. And even these women are very intimidating with like their like physiques. I'm just like, they kind of like the average guy to me. Some of these women's physiques, like they put the work in to get that built, and kudos to them. But in Florida, I think Florida is the standards are very high because I feel we're really hot. So everyone, I asked some of my clients, like, you work a normal job, but yet I feel like you're in the gym like 3 times a day. And it's because like we're wearing like next to nothing here. Like I went through my closet the other day and I was just like, I only own crop tops. Like I don't have like normal clothes. And like I have dressy crop tops, like work crop tops. And then like I'm shopping and I'm like, oh, I'll go to like, you know, Neiman Marcus or something. And I'm just like, that's just our style. Like we're half naked here in Florida. Like everything that you buy is just you're half naked no matter what, because it's hot as hell here. But it's just definitely, it's one of those things where people in Florida, I feel, are on that pedigree of like bodybuilding and like physique, and even going to like, we have like the pools. Like my girlfriends are wearing stiletto heels, makeup, and they make sure they go to the gym the first thing in the day to get that pump in. And I'm like, I want to go swimming. I have to wear lashes. Like I gotta wear stilettos. Like I don't know about that.
Well, we've got a new Floridian in Florida. Our own Jimmy Pharaoh is finally making his appearance. Daniella.
He's going to get his tan on.
There he is, getting his tan on. Jimmy, welcome back, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. What's going on? First of all, I just got to say to both of you, nice job, kicking ass. More importantly, though, congratulations to everyone involved, especially you, Daniella. Na-na-na-na, hey, goodbye, riddle me this. Ha!
C'est la vie.
Yeah, he's out of here like shit through a goose. Whoop. Pretty good.
I think
Pretty good.
I think Florida has de-aged you. You look like you lost like 10 years on you.
Yeah, you know, it's weird, too. You're right about the climate. I've been walking around naked for days. I mean, well, kind of. I understand what you mean by the climate. You kind of don't want to wear clothes.
You don't want to wear clothes. You literally keep your like air on like 68 degrees. Like it's ridiculous. Yeah, I feel healthier. I definitely feel healthier. Mike, there's less tension here. You might want to try it out.
Yeah, I need a little less. I need a little less tension in my life. That's for sure.
You might want to try it out, or at least come down for a week or two. Yeah. So what's going on? What's going on, folks? What did I miss besides everything with this shit phone?
Well, Jimmy, tell us. Tell everybody out there. The family out there is wondering how you're doing. Everybody's asking about you. How's the change in Florida? What's going on? Fill Daniella in. What's going on? Let's hear about you, Jimmy.
Okay. Well, despite the photos that you showed last week, I didn't wind up in Canada. First of all, I didn't have a U-Haul. Second of all, I loaded up the car on show night, Thursday nights, Monte and The Pharaoh, 9 p.m. Of course. Loaded up the car and left about 10:20 from Long Island on last Thursday, and I got here in 17 hours, actually 16 and a half. I didn't stop. Well, I stopped for gas, but I didn't stop. Loaded up the cats in the back, and 16 and a half hours later. And you know what I discovered about the East Coast? Outside of Philadelphia, which was kind of pretty at night, there ain't that much to see. I must have missed something because every city looked the same to me. They look kind of drab, but until I got to sunny Florida, and then I felt the change. And yeah, I'm being partial, but man, I was born here. I don't know if I was born. You know, people know I was born here, so I'm kind of like coming home in a weird way. I've always wanted to. What is Mike? What do you call it? The back nine for us. Oh, by the way, Daniella, thank you for the original co-host reference, but I'm not sure about the old co-host, even though I am. You didn't have to rub it in like that. Anyway, but yeah.
I'm not trying to change the name. I like Monte and The Pharaoh. I want it to stay. I don't want Monte and Petrow.
Well, I appreciate
Monte
that.
And The Pharaoh.
There we go. But yeah, when I got here, I I felt like a weight lifted, especially when I hit the central. Now, it's weird. Most of Florida is Eastern time zone, but I'm in the central time zone. So when I saw the signs for you are in the central time zone, I knew I was close. So the ride was good. The cats met the dogs, Mike, just in case you were curious. My 2 cats met Karen McDaniel's 2 dogs, and that was very interesting because they're American Bulldogs, and my cats are just cats. So that was a scene out of the Brady Bunch. You remember that first episode, right, Mike, where the cat Fluffy gets chased by a tiger and ruins the Brady wedding?
Right.
Yeah, it was chaos.
So Jimmy,
but as far as
are you happy? Are you happy with the move? I mean, I know it's early, but are you glad that you made this move?
Oh, he moved to Florida.
I already got
happy.
Yeah, no, Daniella's right. I am happy. I already got a Florida driver's license. That was quick and painless. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, it was quick and painless. Mike, you should see what they call the DMV over here. There was like 2 people watching Andy Griffith. I'm like, what is this?
Oh, no. See, in Tampa, you got to schedule an appointment.
Oh, really? Well, maybe you should come to
it's
PCB because we don't have that. Oh, no, I didn't have any of that over here. I'm in the good neck of the woods.
You're going to be swimming. You're going to be swimming, and what's winter for us, because our blood, after about, I would say, 2-3 years, your blood starts to thin out. So you're going to be swimming in winter when all of us are wearing like Uggs and like big fur coats and stuff, and we're freezing our asses off, and you're going to be like, nah, this is great swimming weather. Like, you're going to be the odd one out for a couple of years.
Daniella, where are you in Florida anyway? Where are you?
I'm in Tampa. And are you Tallahassee?
Okay.
Tallahassee is about 5-6 hour drive.
Right, I got you.
Now you got a friend in Florida.
I got you. There we go.
Make a trip to the Keys.
There we go. Yeah. They don't see any snow here, I've been told. They had a frost one Christmas. That sounds pretty good, huh, Mike?
Frost, honestly.
Mike is a little occupied right now.
Uh-oh. I'll tell you
What happened to Mike?
When I had... Is Mike working?
He's just a little occupied right now. Just keep conversating.
Wait a minute, did he go to the can?
No. So Jamie Dundee's a guest tonight, and he was running a little behind, and he's just getting set up now. So we're gonna go long tonight.
Oh, okay.
We all huge friends of Jamie Dundee and Jamie, his wife Angela, 2 fantastic people.
Very beautiful.
Honestly, I cannot wait for Jamie to meet with Daniella. I mean, this is a how do you say it? I want to without. It's a King Kong meets Godzilla. You know what I mean? It's
Daniella, get ready. Get ready.
Snow White meets
Jamie's mouth.
That's it. It's Snow White, but wait a minute. It might be the evil queen meets the evil king. It could be that.
Yes, we got to.
Oh no, this is definitely.
There.
So Jimmy, if you want to hang in there,
I had a couple of drinks. I'm gonna. Huh?
You want to hang in there and stay on with us as long as we meet with Jamie? It'll be good.
I don't trust this connection, guys. I'm just telling you. I don't trust this connection, guys, but
Wait. Is it an Android or an iPhone?
I'm sending you another email.
It's a phone.
Okay.
It's a phone. It texts and stuff. Yeah, you're probably way more technical than I am, Daniella. I don't have any clue what the fuck this thing is.
I literally, my 10-year-old knows how to reprogram my phone. I'm like, what's this? He's like, you need to update your iPhone, Mom. And I'm like, how do I do that?
By the way, Daniella, your phone looks better than so-called professional studios Mike and I have ventured through in the past. I just wanted to mention that.
That's my glam lights too. A queen has to make sure she's prepared.
Yes, yes.
With all my Twitter wars, I have to make sure I have good lighting.
Yeah. So I'm sure Mike asked you already. I'm sure Mike asked you already, but I haven't. I'm just jumping onto the program. How do you feel about Matt and everything that happened with him? Real quick, if you can, for me.
No, I'm honestly, I feel vindicated. I do. But that also has costed me. That's why the tiara is not because of my birthday. That was yesterday. The tiara is because I have been crowned like the voodoo queen, the witch, the evil queen. I put a hex on him. I put a curse on him. I'm the reason he got fired. Not that anything he did got him fired. I got him fired. Because I have all the power in the world. So I figure if I have all the power in the world, a queen must wear her crown. So...
And with that, I could tell Jimmy is froze again.
Oh, no!
You see, but I'm back. I'm back to recover this.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drive up and visit Jimmy, and I'm going to bring him an iPhone.
I think that's a great idea. Well, because I still have to send him a mic and stuff, but I thought he would. He has his own. He has his own.
I definitely want to make a trip. I definitely want to make a trip where me and him are sitting side by side while we're with you.
That would be great. Oh my God, that would be
and
fantastic.
my kids want to see snow, and we went to Tennessee this year, and I was like, oh well, maybe we'll make a trip to New York because like I love Rockefeller Center. Like I grew up in northeastern Pennsylvania, so like my grandmother used to always take us to New York from Hartford, Connecticut, and like we loved it. We'd go for a day trip. And I told my children, like, you have to experience, the city of, like, New York just really gives you the sense of, like, what season it is. And
yeah.
So maybe I might have to go to Long Island, you know?
Yeah, that's a great idea. But
Come
by the
sit
way,
next to you.
Absolutely. By the way, the great Jamie Dundee has finally arrived. Woo! Jamie, how are you?
Yay! Hey, better late than never, right?
That's okay, man. I'm always glad to see you, man. How's everything going?
Man, life great, man. I don't know, it couldn't get much better. But the reason I'm along tonight is I had to take my motorcycle shop, and I had to get the tires changed and yada yada to get it up. And so, and then of course my Jeep wouldn't start, so I had to get it. You know how it is. It's life, man. You know, just. But apart from that, I'm here. I made it, and it's the Monte and Pharaoh variety show. I love it.
That's it, brother. You know, Jamie, it's been a while. Jimmy has moved to Florida. He met, I don't know if you know her. I'll just ask. Obviously, you're aware of Wahoo McDaniel, but Karen McDaniel, so. Wahoo's widowed wife, Jimmy is now in a relationship with her, and he moved down to Florida to live with her.
Good for
well,
him.
I mean, hey, that's. I mean, when someone passes on, you know. It's a grieving process, and then you must move on with your life. So I wonder if he puts the feathers on and dances around the house.
Well, that leads me into my new co-host, right? So one goes down to Florida, and here's my new co-host, Miss Daniella Petrow. Meet the great Jamie Dundee.
It is an honor, to meet you.
So my pleasure, young lady. So is it now called the Monte and Danielle, or what do we call the show now?
I like the old name. I want to stick with it because even as a queen, pharaohs always have a queen. So I think you should stick with Monte and the Pharaoh.
Yeah, I like Monte and the Pharaoh. Should it be Monte and the Pharaoh's queen, or
yeah, there you go. We'll just add an add-on.
Monte Pharaoh's queen. So that way. Because you know we have to justify the difference.
Jamie,
behind every great man is an even better woman.
You ain't wrong there. Believe that 100%. Behind a great man is a better woman. Always, whether guys believe it or not.
Jamie, Daniella was asking. She needs some good fucking wine. Can you recommend good fucking wine to her? I think you've had some, right?
I can. Let me see right here. Hold on, let me see.
Are you a wine enthusiast? Oh, let me get in on this one.
Yeah, here it is, right here. Look, some good fucking wine. This right here. This is what you got to get.
Buddy.
You have to. But the only way to get this, I found out, is show, and then you have to come back like a week later because your partner gets on the show and bashes you when he's supposed to be your homeboy, and you come back a week later and you get wine, you get gifts, you get cheese, you get roses, and you get feathers, and you get fanned. I mean, I'm like, it made my status double the money, man. It was great. The greatest thing I ever did was no show trip. It was the greatest thing I ever did.
Yo, Jamie,
Yes!
Jamie, speaking of that, right? Unfortunately, last time you were here in New York, we missed you, right? Because I just personally decided that I didn't think it was a good situation to have Wolfie in studio.
Good choice for everybody. Yeah, it was a good choice for everybody. It was. And that we didn't get to do your show, man, or that I didn't get to do. My wife and my child, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Here we are today, and we have moved on in life, and here we are.
So,
for the record, I did no-show 2 more. No-show Indianapolis and I don't know, Knoxville or something. Not really on purpose. After the New York trip, and I'm like, you know what, man, my house with $1,000 in my pocket, and I came home and I had 0, and I'm not do the wrestling business no more. So, just mean to no show, but it was just the best thing I could have done was no show them shows. Everybody's happy, and I made my I guess, like I said, I didn't know anybody would even care. So I went to New York. I made up for that, and life a day, and everybody got what they deserved and what they wanted and needed, and so life is well.
You know, when you were up here, I know the trip didn't turn out perfect for you, but how did it make you feel, all these fans showing you the love and the respect that Jamie Dundee deserves?
Well, I mean, honestly, that is what I have, I guess, growing up in the wrestling business, and my father being a wrestler, and my brother-in-law being beautiful Bobby Eaton. I never looked at it as anybody like it myself, but that anybody would care, you know. And once I found out people did, it was wonderful, man. When I showed up, really, it was great. It made me. The best part was my 13-year-old daughter had never seen. I have never wrestled or nothing. 13-year-old daughter has never. She's my I love Jamie room. You know, you see it right now. There's shit there, but I don't think she had never never really understood that her was kind of a star, you know. And when we went to them conventions, man, and the people coming up and telling me how they would miss me last time that I was there, and by the end of it, my daughter was almost famous, man. She was like got sunglasses on. She was signing her name on some things, and I got to laughing. I thought I let my child get that bug, you know, that celebrity rock and roll bug. I'm like, oh no more. Good for my child to get to see that I don't think ever really sunk in her that things that I've done in my life and where I had been long before she was ever thought of. So I don't think she ever really done it, and it was really cool. You got to see. She thinks she has a Queens, New York, and Philadelphia street cred now because she went to the ECW arena and she went to a show in Queens and she walked down the road. So now she thinks she's got like a gang.
Give her street cred.
Man. Yeah, she got that Philadelphia street cred and got that Queens, New York. She be telling these little country town where I live. She be telling people, I've been to Queens, New York. I've been to know where I am.
I don't know if we lost connection with Jamie. Is he good?
Oh.
Did we lose him? We might have lost him. Oh, there he is. Hold on.
Can you see me? Oh, no. What happened? Can you hear me?
You're back now. You're back now.
All right, good.
Good.
Yeah, you know, that's the Dundee thing. You just never know. He may be here. He just may disappear. You never know with Dundee. Hell, who knows?
You know
I was really here the whole time, though, I promise.
You know what the best point about it, though, Jamie, is I've known you for a short time, but you're a good human being, man. You've always been good to us. You're a good man. Your wife is incredible.
She's gorgeous.
Unbelievably
She's
gorgeous.
a saint. My mother and Tracy Smothers used to call her from the very first time they ever met her. They said, my mom's a little Australian woman, and she said, love, you're a bloody saint. If you could put up with him, you're a saint, love. And Tracy Smothers, where's Sister Saint? Where's Sister Saint at, Dundee? Where's she at? she put up with you. So
Now-
the Sister
now,
Saint,
Dundee.
she, I mean, you know, but most people don't understand this. I guess the JCI in the entertainment world person that you see isn't that lives in this house with my wife and my child. And I tried to, you know, that dude was a crazy, that JCI, he was a crazy dude, was a drug doing, narcissistic, don't give a damn. And he's still in here somewhere, but we don't like to let that dude out, man. That's why I don't like to go around the wrestling business much, because he comes out in it. But I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate it. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. I'm very happy that you're on the show tonight on our Thirsty Thursday, and you do have a very beautiful wife. This Thirsty Thursday. But I have a question. Now, being famous, have you ever dated any women in the wrestling community? Have you ever intermingled?
Well, I mean,
for the wife?
I myself, I'm not famous. My dad was, and still is, just Bill's boy. I got a tattoo right here on my that says "Fuck you, I'm Bill's boy." That's all I've ever been, Bill's boy. If I got pulled over by the police, if I went and he said Dundee, they said, I'm Bill's boy. Matter of fact, in court, just in this little country town I live in, just a couple years ago, in court, man said, "You Bill Dundee's boy?" Ma'am, she said, "Oh, Bill Dundee was so fine." And I told my wife, I said, "We got this case beat." but I never.
Have you ever dated any
like
fans?
I've never. No. It's kind of like I don't know. It's two different worlds now.
It
no,
is.
I've never.
It is.
You know, I never. To me, when now, especially now, but back in the JCI's days, I was JCI. I was the star. I was the egotistic dude, and it was my way or no way. And so it wasn't enough room for another one. That's kind of like competition. Yes, I don't know. I never. No. I like my wives. I mean, really, my wives. Every one of my wives, they're the total opposite of what JCI's was. They don't drink. They don't cuss. They don't smoke. They don't. You know, they're good people. They're not saying JCI's very good persons, but anyway.
It was a happy balance to your character.
Right. It was my like the ones that could pull me back in. You know what I mean? Because I was a wild, crazy dude, man, from a very young age. When I was 4 years old, my dad and Tommy Rich, they got me drunk and they pierced my ear with a needle. And then 8 years old, I started to chicks at the wrestling matches for $1. From that moment on, I thought, man, this is my world. I can do this. I can do this for the rest of my life. So it was one of those, I guess, when I went home, which wasn't very rarely, but I mean, when I went home, it was like
they were your anchor to bring you back down.
Right, to put me in check. You know, like my mother was the only person that could put me in check. Right, JC.
That's good though, honestly.
My mother. Right. And I knew that though.
That's good.
And also, I've always known that I was pretty egotistical and it was all about me. So drug days, I wasn't sharing my dope and shit with no chick or nobody else. You know, none of my wives did drug smoked or, I mean, honestly, you know, I have a few different wives throughout my life, which everybody does. But now, soulmate, my best friend. And the funny part is when she was like 15 years old, she used to watch me on TV and tell her family, and that's my boyfriend right there. I'm gonna marry him one day, and sure enough, here we are.
And there you are.
She married you one day.
Sure enough. So it goes to show that nobody's out of anybody's reach. You know what I mean? If you're in love with a movie star,
good to be true, honestly.
You're right. You might be able to marry that movie star one day. So that's why I get offended if my wife says, "Oh, that's a good-looking country singer." I'm like, "Don't," because you know she may run off with that good-looking country singer.
She may.
So
we were all like that.
Right.
Hey, well,
you just never know. Life is funny, man.
Jamie, I want to stay positive, but I just have to ask. It's been a while.
Sure.
How's the relationship with Wolfie now? Is it better?
Yeah. I mean, Wolfie, like I said, he's always going to be a big part of my life. He's my brother. If something happens to him, I will be very, very upset. But also, like I say, I don't want it no more. I don't care no more. I did 2 of the 4 You know, I committed to 4 and I did 2, and that was really big on my part to do the thing. You know, I mean, I don't know. It's just I don't want, like I say, it brings out the other side of me, and I don't bring that part out. That part is done in my life, you know. And I don't know. I love Wolfie. He will always be my family, my brother. Without him, I could have never done nothing in the wrestling business. And without me, he couldn't do nothing as far as the things we did. And you know, I mean, if you can watch that WWE 24/7, 95 or 7, we're on every single company, bro. We're in every single company at the same time, and that's just, you know, at the time it did. But I'm like, wow, that big show on ECW, USWA, we're on freaking Smoke, we're on freaking WC, we're on them all in the same week. Big shit, bro. I'm like, wow, man, we were definitely, I guess, publicized job boys or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, hell, I mean, it was, the bad problem is it went by so fast and all the money's gone, and then you wake up one day, what a ride. At least we get to wake up, though. Most people most of the wrestlers, they die at 35 in a hotel room somewhere all alone. So at least I'm 53 and move on, and a wife and my home, and I ended better than I thought I would, or anybody else.
You know,
I cheers to that.
Cheers to that. I'm gonna do that too.
To that, I don't have a drink, but here, happy good wine, good fucking wine.
Dundee, what are you doing?
But look here, I'm gonna hit this joint. I'm gonna hit this doobie. When you step out, hit the doobie. Yeah.
I can't.
What a great world we live in today. You can go to the store and buy. That is the greatest shit in the world.
Jamie,
believe me, I was dating the biggest stoner in the world.
Oh, Cheech and Chong.
Jamie, last time you were on, you mentioned that Dutch Mantel reached out to you and said you gave the most incredible. He doesn't listen to a lot of interviews, but you gave one of the best interviews he's ever heard. Since then, since then, Dutch has blown up, right? He's like a podcast superstar now. But I got to ask you this.
Yes, he is. I saw that.
Yeah. But I'll ask you, has Dutch Mantel always been, like, how can you explain his popularity now after all these years?
Well, listen, for the people of today's world, like the Dutch has been there, and what I mean, he started in the, 7, Handsome Jimmy Valiant, Lawler, my dad, there's a bunch of them, but Dutch is the only one that still talk about it. Also, if Dutch Mantel, if it wasn't for Dale, there wouldn't be nobody in the wrestling business. A lot of things Dutch has invented. Stone Cold, The Undertaker, Kane, The Rock, he's invented everybody, which, I mean, so be it. Everybody has a little part in that, but I have a bunch of wrestlers here, and the very last page is called World According to Dutch. It's the magazine was called Wow Wrestling Magazine, okay? Go to the very last page in every single copy of Wow. It's called The Wonderful World According to Dutch. And that's how Dutch lives. It's the way it's Wonderful World According to Dutch. And the reason I believe he's blown up is because 80% of the stories telling are true. But also time they get shuffled up in your brain and they get mixed up and some things get forgotten and some things get added. And he's a very entertaining person. Dutch has always been a very funny, entertaining type of, and he has that I guess that
charisma,
that Uncle Jed, that Uncle Jed type of person where one can read Dutch and listen to Dutch and understand Dutch. You see what I'm saying? It's Dutch. Dutch has been there and done that. Believe it. Dutch has been through all the companies. Dutch started. Pafo started. He was in that ICW. Dutch has been everywhere, and Dutch has earned it. And Dutch has made a lot of money in the wrestling business. Dutch was always been my hero because he was the only ever told on me. And all the other wrestlers be not intentionally knowing I was going to get my ass kicked. Because in the wrestling business, it's called a rib. In the dope world, they call it rat. you're a rat if you tell on people. But in the wrestling business, it's called a rib. So I guess it's. But Dutch also. I was an 8-year-old little boy, you know, and Dutch has that type of persona that everybody listening can relate to Dutch. Does that make sense? They can understand, you know, especially the people that know about how the wrestling was back then. Dutch can definitely bring the story alive and make you feel like you were there or you saw it. Does that make sense?
No, I can 100% relate. He's a relatable person.
Right, with everybody, all walks of life, with all genres, with all colors, with all races, with all whatever you want to call it. Most people say if you listen to just a loudmouth, redneck, some racing, some, it's not true. But anyway,
everyone has a Dutch in their life.
Very much so.
Everyone
He's like the old uncle or the cousin, or that's right, the grandfather. Very much so, and everyone can understand and relate to Dutch. And plus, it's just telling you is 80% true. You know what I mean? Because you know he was there. It's true. You can other people about the stories. They are actually true. And he's very, like we said, very understand. Like I call him on the phone. He thinks I've already done the show. I said, Dutch, I have not done your show yet. I said, it seems like you talk about telling all kinds of stuff to me, but some are all intertwined. You know, he got me WrestleMania 13 with an $800 cab bill and all that. Not what happened. I did show up one time with an $800 cab bill, not at WrestleMania and not at a pay-per-view. It was on a Monday Night Raw. But I mean, the stories are basically because that did happen. So, I mean, you know, I did get a $100 payoff, me and Wolfie both. But that was because our money was paid. This is all we got paid, and they did not bonus us on WrestleMania, which they should have, and they probably could have, but they didn't because we had already been fired and let go or whatever. And so they only owed us $100 from what see WrestleMania. They fly you in and be there for a whole week. Anybody that's ever done WrestleMania, if the WrestleMania is on Sunday, you go more and you're in that town, you're promoting, you're going Nation Domination's going to. We was going everywhere.
Signings, everything. And you are
right. Signing, radio, whatever. Right. And at the end of the show, they only us $100 because we drew the money up all week. You see what I'm saying? So our payoff was our payoff, but it wasn't because they were saying "fuck you, Jamie and Wolfie." It was because our contract stated we got a certain amount of money on every show, 5 shows a month. We had the shows a month. The rest we wanted. And so they only owed us $100. So true, we got a $100 payoff, but the reason Dutch says we got it is not how it went. We didn't get it because Vince hated us and I had a $800 cab bill. It wasn't quite like I did have an $800 cab bill. Challenged Ken Shamrock, but that was on a Monday Night Raw show, and that was a couple months before WrestleMania. So, but I mean,
now I have a quick question.
Sure.
This is one jailbird to another jailbird. What did you go to jail for? Because you know I got mugshots out there.
Yeah, I have my bird pulls up all the time. She said, "Daddy, she said, Daddy, do you know that you are on famous people's mugshots?" I said, "No, I didn't know that." So
listen, I'm trying to make my way
lived in this
there.
town
you know what?
Yeah, right. I guess
That's
a good thing or a bad thing. But I went to jail and through the penitentiary system in the great state of Kentucky. If you don't pay for it, they will put you in jail.
Kentucky.
Yes, that's where I live now. I paid some chick $50 a week, and they came and put me in jail for 4 years, over $2,500. I did a 4-year sentence. On and off, coming in and out of jail, you know, they let parole you have no past record, so. And I was
so you got more street cred than me. You got more street cred than me.
I do, but you're not gonna believe this shit. I am 50-year-old. That kid is 32 years old, and they just arrested me last month from a warrant from 1995 for fucking. You believe that shit, man? Took me to jail and still owe them $1,700. I said, it is 32 years old. Tell him to get a fucking job at that. and they didn't appreciate that. But they made me post a $400 bond, and I was in jail for 4 hours, and they let me go back
Smile
home.
in your
But the-
mugshot, though.
No, but if you go back and type in
you always
Dundee
gotta
mug shots,
smile.
you're gonna see a bunch, and I'm smiling in a bunch of them. I'm laughing,
I
I'm
was
joking,
frowning
I'm
in mine, too.
smiling
I was like-
because, yeah. But in this one, I am not, because a policeman pulled me over because my fucking tail light or something was out, and then he even said, "You're not gonna believe this shit, but you got a warrant from 1995." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" But in the great
Almost 8 years old.
Commonwealth.
Or 18 years old,
And
18-year-old warrant.
Yes, and listen here, the statute of limit never runs out on child support or murder. And the kid is literally 32 years old. I never saw this little again since he was 4 years old. I went to the penitentiary. He at 18 years old. He came to my house and wants to look in his eyes, and I've never seen the little guy again. And bless it, I mean, it is what it is. And they just again it told me I still owe them $1,700.
I see some tattoos on your hands, and I love a man with tattoos. What do
Yeah.
those tattoos represent?
Well, here
I
is a
see
rebel
some tattoos,
flag.
though.
No,
What
I'm
are
not.
all those tattoos?
I'm not racist. I was born in Australia, but society says that you can't have this no more. So I said, "Fuck you, society. You can't take this."
Did you just say you were born in
fingernails?
Australia?
Yes, I was born in Sydney, Australia. I'm not an American
So
citizen.
today
I
on
have
Crocodile Hunter.
Yeah, and listen, is that
the real Dundee?
Yeah, I'm the real Crocodile Dundee, mate.
You're
But
the original
honestly,
Crocodile Hunter.
I have JC Ice underneath these rings. JC Ice, man. Then over here it says Ice Man.
I want to see the nails. You know I'm a nail girl.
The nails are I paint my nails, and I'm gonna tell you why. I paint my.
Ain't nothing wrong
I've
with
done
that.
that since
It takes a real man to paint his nails.
1994.
I dated one.
Did y'all know the story of the West Memphis Three? The three boys that were accused, Arkansas, they were accused and sent to fucking death row for 25 years because they wore fingernail polish in this little country ass town. It's called the Wreslting. Bono started a movement called Free the West Memphis Three. If you go look up an HBO documentary called Robin Murder, they took three gentlemen, Damian Eccles, Jason Baldwin, Kelly, and these three boys, 19, 18, and 18, in the fucking penitentiary for 25 years on death row for a crime they commit. And the reason being is because they had long black hair and they painted their fucking fingernails. So since that day that they put them boys in jail, I have painted fingernails. Show the world that fuck you, man. Don't judge a book by the cover. These three boys' lives was thrown away.
Listen.
That's right, for real. And they threw these away on death row. You have to check out Free the West Memphis Three. Bono, the lead singer of You,
I
ordered
used
the
to pick
movement
out my
and got
ex-boyfriend's nail color when we would go for our pedicures and manicures. So I am
I have done it since
any nail polish on
because. Yeah, that's right. And my favorite line is when like my little friends or a little bit, they'll say, "You paint your fingernails like a girl?" And I'll say, "Yeah, but ain't you tell everybody that a girl beats you up?" And they're like, "Oh no, I didn't mean nothing by that." And I say, don't judge a book by the cover. Just because I paint my fingernails and I have a red does not mean that I am a fucking racist because I say the N-word before, and who hasn't? Not that everybody's perfect, but I don't know. That's a whole different subject. But in the world we live in, you can be a boy wanting to be a girl that wants to go to a all girls, but you're a boy, but you're a transgender because you have a boyfriend and now a girlfriend, and they say, "Oh, that's okay," and they say something's wrong with me because I have a rebel flag and paint my fingernails. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know at all. It's not my call, but I do know that no boy, girl is going to go to a girl's bathroom where my kid goes. I'm not having it. I'm not putting up with it. He's a boy. The boy's bathroom, and once you get out of school, oh, that's what I mean. And, yeah, but I mean, I judge no. I have gay friends. I have midget friends, black friends. I have white friends. I have Mexican, Chinese, whatever. But also, right is right and wrong is wrong. And you know is going in the girl's bathroom where my kid is at if I'm around, I promise you, or I'm going to jail. What? 7, because Mr. Dundee smacks a little boy. Yeah, I mean, for real, because it is what it is.
For a purpose.
Very much so, very much so. You know, if you're gay, I don't mind. I don't mind. Listen, I've been to prison. Listen, gays, they clean your cell really well for, you know, a noodle.
Oh, Lord.
But I mean, if not right, but also you try to make me wrong because you want to go to the girls' bathroom because you're a girl where you're not a girl and you're not going where my daughter's going to the bathroom.
Dundee, I gotta top off my glasses.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I just get to these rants and I forget where I'm at and what I'm doing. But back to the Monte and Pharaoh Queen show.
My views on it is if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So whether it's something I believe in or I don't believe in, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
You will never opinion on something unless you ask for it or it is brought up in the subject. But when you do ask and I don't give the answer that you want, don't make me out to be the fucking moron or the bad guy, because that's unacceptable.
Oh, 100%. We are all entitled to our opinions, our views.
Very
much. What we need to do as society is respect it. Respect our differences.
Yeah, that's right.
We all
y'all go to a concert.
I respect your views on how you see things.
Very much so. If we all go to a restaurant and you tell me that men in this line and you are a man and you say you're a woman, you go in that line, I'm not ever going to say you can't. That I don't mind. That's not up to me. But if you ask me, what do you think about this guy who girl going to this line, then I'm going to
never ask a question you don't want an answer to. So if you ask a question,
that's the name of my father's book. That is what my father named his book. It's called Bill Dundee. Do not ask the questions if you don't want the answer.
And I honestly live by that. If you don't want to hear the answer to, don't answer the question. Don't ask the question. And I may not wholeheartedly agree with a lot of things you say, but I respect the fact that you stand for something, and that is honestly commendable for you. And the passion behind
very much so. As they say, right. I would rather be hated, but I am loved for something that I am not. I'm the queen of evil,
Dundee. I'm the queen of evil.
That's right. I love it. I love it. The Pharaoh's king. I like it. I like it a lot.
How is your father?
Mike, you're quiet.
We got way off on crazy. We need to go back to normal subjects. Where you at, Mike? We got way out there just then.
Jamie, how is your father doing nowadays?
He's good, but he don't know it. You know, that's what dementia. I tell you this is my dad all the time. Smiles. So where he's at, he's fucking loving it. He's not in this fucking in today, but I mean, he wherever. I think he's back in the 80s. He knows, like when he talks to me or sees me, he knows, and he knows. But he can't. Like my father's never been one. Like when the very last show I did was about 1.5 years ago. Jeff Jarrett was there, and Wolfie and me, a wrestling show. I actually wrestled. I packed my own bag, and I had 2 fucking left shoes. Is that great or what? I packed my own left fucking shoes to wear to the ring. But my dad asked me once. He asked me 100 times, "Am I going to the ring with you? Am I going to the ring with you?" You know, my father's never been one like that. He can't remember the moment right that second. But he can damn remember 882, him and Lawler on top.
He lives in the good moments.
Yeah, that's because he's smiling all the time. The good thing is they say with people who have dementia, I think he's in stage 3 maybe. There's 4 stages of it, but I believe he's they're cry all the time or they're happy. Glad to know that at least he's happy all the time, man, which is cool. But
Dundee, I'm taking a shot for your father and his smiles. I'm taking a shot.
Yes, and he would love it. He'd love it. Yes, he would love it. I'm getting a shot. He'd be like, "Baby, take 2 for the superstar."
Have you heard any news on Jerry Lawler? How's Jerry Lawler doing?
Well, I talk to Lawler a lot of time. You know, on Facebook and things like. Lawler's okay. I saw he was on Monday Night Raw a couple of weeks ago, or I didn't see the Raw show, but I saw somewhere where it said Lawler returned to Raw or something and did a speech or something. but he's still slurring his words a little bit, I think is what they said. But apart from that, he's all right, man. He's the king, baby. You know, he's the king, man. But it's just I don't know, man. It bothers me just to watch all these, because you like you know how many legends people that have made it weird just this year alone. I mean, I got somebody sent me a list of them, and I was wow, man. I mean, you know, 75, 80 is a hell of a life, especially professional wrestler or any sports app. You know, that is the line to putting your bodies through those things. And I don't know, man. Nobody's ever promised tomorrow, though, man. That's one thing that earned once I made it past 40 years old, because nobody ever thought I would live to be 40, but once I made it past 40, I realized that nothing's promised tomorrow, especially, you know, as you get on. I'm 53 years old, man. I can't believe that I am 53 years old. I was on WrestleMania 27 years ago. The hell? You know, it's like, wow.
You guys go through hell. You know, I've seen the bruises, I've seen the cuts, and you think nothing of it, that you gentlemen and women as wrestlers,
self-medicate.
We take for granted what you actually physically put your body through.
Very much so. And nobody, I don't think, runs until they step up in the ring one time and they take a back bump and they land on that back and they think, fuck. Because see, everybody watching TV at home, that when you're a kid, you go in your bed and you jump up and down. Yeah, you jump up and down in your bed and you drop an elbow or something and it's real soft, and they don't realize that the only thing we're landing on is plywood and fucking a little layer of carpet and a mat cover. They did a test, and it said that every back bump, just one back bump where you stand and you throw your feet, is equivalent to being rear-ended in a vehicle at 35 miles an hour. Every fucking bump we take is a minimum of being rear-ended in a car at 30. That's how they said
Valentine's Day. I got my ex a massage table, because at first, before I saw a live show, I was like, why do you have bruises? Why are you complaining so much? Why do you always want a massage? Until I actually physically witnessed a live show and saw what they were doing and how like, you guys, you're treading with paralyzation, death, like it honestly,
everything right on the border, right on the I tell everybody, wrestling was not fake.
No,
they tell us who's going to
anyone that thinks wrestling is anything fake, it's not
else,
fake. It's not
that's
fake.
Right.
It's not
between
fake.
the moment and the moment where we turn it fake and we lose all the shit, hurts like hell. But it doesn't hurt at the moment because the adrenaline's pumping out and the people. That's it. That's it. And it's the show Tough Enough, I think, really helped the credibility of wrestling. Showed Marines and friggin' snipers and badass dudes taking bumps and coming out of that ring going, fuck this, man. I'm going Marines. Because it's like watching.
I feel like wrestling is like a song, and if that CD skips, it's done for.
Yep. I tell everybody,
and
when you're watching wrestling and that's it. When you watch wrestling and you go like this, oh, fuck that, hurt like it didn't hurt. It was the one that's how it was supposed to go. When you go like this, oh, boo, that shit sucked, that was fake, that hurt because something wasn't right. Something, it's a dance. It's a physical dance.
And the cuts as a significant other, and I tell you, I used to like, oh, you're whining, stop complaining, like that stuff. This is coming from a non-wrestling person. I used to literally just be like, why do you have a bruise here? Why do you have a bruise there? My Valentine's gift was a massage table for my ex.
Massage, right?
Honestly,
and that's the greatest gift.
I got him a massage table.
That's awesome.
I got him a portable one.
I tell you,
but
we did it 7 days a week.
You put your bodies through. The severity that you put your bodies through is
their day, man. People understand. They don't have a clue. They don't have a clue.
They don't.
Football players play 16 a year.
I have to admit, I was very ignorant to it myself. I had no clue until I physically was watching it, and then I was like on edge, like a parent, like, oh my God.
Yeah. And if you walk up and bang your hand on that fucking mat, you realize how hard that ring really is. And the ropes, people don't understand. The rope cable, it's a cable underneath a fucking garden hose that is taped up. That's what that is. And listen, when the first time you hit them ropes, when you're starting to learn to wrestle, oh, God, so bad. Bruises and shit all on your ribs until you learn how to hit them the right way, you know?
No, I commend you for being a wrestler, because honestly, I've never personally experienced that myself, but being a significant other, I definitely took it for granted, knowing the severity of like what is possible, that can injuries and everything else. Like it's definitely on next level. Like it's definitely not fake. The bruises are real. The cuts are real. Like you're putting your body through hell and back.
But the only thing is that you have to have a lot of trust in the guy you're with too, because the guy you're working with, he has your life or your whatever in his hands.
It's
Rey Mysterio can't fly over that top. That's right. Rey Mysterio over that top rope with a double, triple gainer moonsault. If I'm not there to catch him, he can't do that. So he has to have enough trust in me to catch for him to even do that move. So that's where, as they used to say in the old days, that's where you're made. It's me and you tonight. That's my money.
Like
you're my money. I'm your.
It's like
money.
an intimacy. It's like having sex. You gotta trust your partner.
It is. It's like why you dance. Why you have a dance, a physical dance. Right. That's right.
It is.
And if you prematurely come, that is over and it sucks. And that's what happens. The same as I like your.
Did you just
I like the way you put things. I like the way if you prematurely ejaculate, the match is over too early, and the people go boo. If you do it right, if you do it the right way, it's like
your full-on game better be good.
Yay! Monty, fuck! I love the Pharaoh's queen. Fuck the Pharaoh. I'm glad he's down there putting.
I knew that was
coming. This is way better. This is way better than that. I don't even remember his name. What was his name?
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Did he pull out your Zoom?
Come here, wait a minute. Y'all said Dundee, your wife's beautiful. Look at my wife. We are not making fun of these people. My wife is having her good night moisturizer so she can go to bed. She has to go to work tomorrow and be beautiful, so she'll get her tips at Cracker Barrel. So.
There you go. All right, Jamie, we're almost out of time.
Man, I hate that we're out of time, but you know what? All good things must come to an end next time.
That is it, brother.
Oh, Dundee, you have been a blast to interview.
Well, thank you very much, and I've enjoyed it. And maybe one time come and show up at the right time and be there like I'm supposed to be. That'd be Dundee's always fashionable late, and I go out with a smile. So thank you very much for having me, and I enjoyed it a lot. Thank you.
One final question, Jamie, before you go.
Sure.
What are you most proud of in your entire life?
Oh, good question.
Wow, that's a hell of a question, bro.
That's a thinker.
Wow. You ain't wrong. I mean, fuck. Are you in the real world, or in the wrestling world, or in the entertainment world?
In your life. Doesn't matter.
In my life, what am I the most proud of?
Yep.
I would have to say the man I be because of my wife. Honestly, because you said to me, Dundee, you're a good person. And honestly, I'm only a good person because of the 15 years of my life when I met my wife. And that's no bullshit. I'm not trying to suck up. She ain't got no money. She ain't got no dope. This ain't a drug thing. Yeah, it's just one of those. Honestly, I'm proud. I passed a mirror and looking at these days and not have no shame. And I'm just proud of the
I'm giving your wife a rose just for that.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, my wife had to write a lot of things down because when we stuff the men, they say it, and we as men, we hear it, but we don't really comprehend it. We don't understand. And
but
writes
it takes
poems
a good
and things.
woman to really lock a
she
man
wrote down many things, and I would read that and I would say, "Fuck, I said that or I did that. I can't believe that. And so I made sure I changed. You see, and so I guess that I'm proud of the man that I am today. And that is the thing I'm proud of is that my wife, she saw the good in me and she brought it out for real. And I give her point because she's damn sure. She is damn sure took Jekyll and made Hyde, or took Hyde and made Jekyll.
There you go. Well, Jamie, like I said in the beginning of the show.
I'm being the woman of the show. I'm like tearing up.
Oh my God!
What
the hell?
But I mean, honestly,
no crying in
listen,
wrestling.
If you go back and watch some of them old videos, fuck, if you I was a mean man, I was a loose cannon. I was off the chain, man. It was amazing. I mean, in either way in my life, I could have been a statistic.
Dundee.
But once I say
you agreed with me.
I wrote it down, and I understood it.
You agreed with me when I said behind every great man is an even better woman.
You are not wrong. And in some cases, behind every great woman is another great woman, or behind every great man is still another great woman, or you know how it goes today, transgender. Behind every transgender, great transgender.
Oh, we're not gonna get into
that. But all I know is.
But Jamie Dundee, you, sir, are a great man, and I thank you for coming on the world's #1 pro wrestler broadcast. Have a great night. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, and I appreciate y'all, and my love to the Pharaoh's Queen.
You got it. Daniella, another one in the books, my friend.
He brought tears to my eyes.
I love it. Jamie Dundee.
I am a hopeless romantic.
Jamie Dundee is a good man. He is a good man. And you
know,
were fantastic.
But like,
once again.
As a hopeless romantic, he brought his wife. He's like, I gotta thank oh my God. Like, that's
Another home run from the Queen. I want to remind everybody tomorrow, 3 special shows. Doink the Clown at 5:30, Duke the Dumpster at 6:45, and then TL Hopper at 7:50. Back to back live in studio. Daniella will be celebrating the rest of her wonderful birthday at the Tampa Bay Lightning game at the Dea Smoothie.
Yeah!
Bruce from ESO. I want to remind everybody you are watching the world's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Catch us on the Monte and The Pharaoh YouTube page, the Monte and The Pharaoh Facebook Live page, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor. Channel 115 every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. and Channel 20 every Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. and Channel 115 on Saturdays at 11 a.m. We're over 150,000 fans watch us weekly. I want to thank Jimmy Pharaoh for making his first return in from Florida. He looks younger, like you said.
Oh, here's a shot to Jimmy. I just poured another Jim Beam shot.
There you go. I want to thank my wonderful co-host, Daniella. Until next Thursday, you want to do another?
All right, I'll do another.
All right, there you go. I'll see you next Thursday. Don't remind everybody, a special Friday. Join us. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us. We love you so much, and we're honored that you guys stay with us every Thursday. Your loyalty and love for us is incredible. And once again, happy birthday, my queen.
Mike, I appreciate you.